Camille Rosalie Claudel was no ordinary woman. Small wars resided in her gray eyes, and statues were born in her long fingers, as if emerging from her flesh and bones, not from clay and stone. Since childhood, she had heard sculpture calling her. She would tap her nails on the edges of tables as if searching for the rhythm hidden behind the wood of life. Camille was born in rural France, where the wind didn't recognize names, and where women were raised to submit, not to create. But Camille was a beautiful flaw in their system. She refused to be a shadow in her father's house or a guest in the home of a man whose features she didn't yet know. She wanted to become an artist. A moving sculpture, not a deaf, motionless one. When she arrived in Paris, it was raining on the cold sidewalks, and her heart was overflowing with passion. She enrolled in a sculpture workshop, and there, between hammer and chisel, she met him, Auguste Rodin. He was 20 years older than her, and she knew him before she knew him. His name was in books, his statues in squares, and his voice in exhibition halls. When he saw her sculpting, he whispered to her in a whisper only the doomed could hear, "You have a soul, Camille. Not just a hand." She fell. She didn't just fall in love, she fell into a bottomless abyss. She became his student, then his partner, then his lover. She gave him her secrets, her body, and her weary fingers that secretly crafted his statues. But, like darkness, he swallowed her light, leaving her with only shadows of his name. Years passed. Rodin completed his greatest works, signing them with his own name. As for Camille, she continued to fight to be seen. Each of her statues was a cry in the face of absence. She loved, she was sculpted, she was betrayed. He didn't just abandon her, he denied her. When she demanded that he acknowledge her role in his works, he said with deadly calm, "You're just a pupil, brilliant, nothing more." It wasn't just love that betrayed her, but also her brother, Paul Claudel, the poet who considered art an abomination and his sister a disgrace. He wrote about her in his memoirs as if she were a curse in their family. He sought to remove her from public life and incited their mother against her. He didn't see her as a sister, but as a woman who had lost her way. She began to slowly crumble. Her mind was like an unfinished statue, cracks in it were visible only if you looked very close. She began to rave that someone was stealing her statues, someone was stalking her, someone wanted to hide her from the world. Perhaps it was madness, or perhaps the truth was spoken in a trembling voice that no one believed. On a gloomy autumn day in 1913, her brother Paul took her to a mental institution. He said it was for a rest, but they didn't ask if she wanted rest. She stayed there for 30 years. No statues were carved there. No doors were opened. She looked out the window and wrote on the walls with her fingernails, writing her name, recarving herself with words.